name is Michael Craner. I'm a registered patent agent. I'm also an engineer with about 30 years experience in the field. I am a senior member of the IEEE and a member of the Licensing Executive Society. One of the patent owners is a friend of mine, and we had done some work together a number of years previously on when I was involved in multimedia. And I was just networking and called him up and told him what I was involved in. And he said, "Really, patents?" He goes, "I've actually got a patent that we've informed some people about, we've given notice to, but we really haven't gotten anywhere successfully with pushing forward with it." And I said, "Well, I can take a look at it for you." And when I took a look at it, I immediately realized the value of the patent. It was one of these fundamental patents in the telecommunications area. General Patent Corporation is one of the companies that I was aware of through some of my consulting work. Had done some patent analysis work for General Patent, so I knew their capabilities. I knew the people there, and I was aware of a number of companies that work in that area. Well, I called up Alex Poltorak, who's the CEO of General Patent Corporation, and I said, "Alex, we have a what I would consider a very valuable fundamental patent here, and I'd like to talk to you about having you potentially represent us." And he was very open to working with us, and I had agreed with the patent owners that I would introduce them to a number of different opportunities, companies that might be able to help them and work with them, and that we would go with the company that we felt was really going to do the best job for us. So we set up a meeting. We had dinner with Alex and one of the inventors who was East Coast, and after the discussion, they just felt a good rapport, and we decided that we'll work the terms with this company. And I think that's a very, very important kind of thing, the human relationship aspect of what General Patent Corporation brings to the table. They really sort of took the burden off of myself and the inventors, really ran with the project fully by themselves. They have an expert team internally to General Patent Corporation, and then they also work with a number of expert law firms outside. They have a group of law firms that they regularly work with, and these guys are involved in high-level litigation as well as negotiation. And I think the great thing about General Patent Corporation is their reputation. They are not one of the companies that you would consider in the troll space. A lot of companies that are essentially litigation support for small inventors, they get a bad reputation in that they are, and this really comes from larger companies that would prefer not to be, in a sense, bothered by small inventors. But General Patent Corporation is always very fair and reasonable in their negotiations. They know a lot of the large technology companies. They've dealt with them before based on the volume of the work that they do. They have good rapport and good relationships with those companies. So I think those companies look at General Patent Corporation in a very favorable light. They know that they're going to be fair and reasonable in their negotiations, because the bottom line is that you want to have the inventor get fair compensation for his invention. I believe we've settled over 30 different lawsuits, and we've pretty much licensed all of the companies that are using the technology. And where they needed the force of litigation, they applied that appropriately, and in other situations, they did expert negotiation. We had cell phone manufacturers, we had service providers, and pretty much all of the industry is licensed at this point. Anybody that you would ever think of in the cell phone space is either licensed through their service provider or through their manufacturer. The great thing about General Patent Corporation is they really did come through. They said what they were going to do. They did what they said they were going to do. And I believe the inventors, and I know certainly myself, I was very happy working with them. I have a lot of experience in this area and a lot of experience with litigation and licensing of patents. And generally things don't go so well for the small inventor. Oftentimes, the small inventor is essentially strung out over many, many, many years, many millions of dollars of litigation. Individual inventors don't generally have the funds to support that type of litigation, nor the resources or time. So they were very effective, General Patent Corporation, in helping the inventors monetize this patent, get the proper value out of it. Once we had identified General Patent Corporation as our partner in working with this, they really took the ball and ran with it. So there was some involvement of myself and the inventors in depositions, but beyond that, it was a very seamless operation for us. I think of the right words, but it didn't take too much of our time. And this was important to the inventors as well as myself, is that we're busy individuals, and we have other companies and concerns to be involved in. And General Patent Corporation made it very easy for us in terms of time, in terms of our commitment and resources. Things really proceeded better than I expected them to. In general, even if you have a fundamental patent, even if you have a clear case of infringement, even if you have a situation, as this patent did, where there was really no prior art that would anticipate this patent, generally it's very difficult to get this to a favorable outcome. Again, the amount of time and the amount of resources that are required to go after an industry as large, for example, as the cellular phone industry, it's just a very difficult kind of thing to do. And General Patent Corporation has the resources, the experience, and the knowledge to make this happen, and they did make it happen, and they were very successful in that area, I thought. So it was a very positive outcome. The people who work for General Patent Corporation are really IP experts. This is what they do day in and day out, and they're involved in a number of very large litigations and negotiations. So they're really experts in their field. So you can depend on them to do the right thing and getting a fair value for their invention. I'm very happy with the results that General Patent has been able to obtain for the inventors in this case, and I'm very happy that I, in the end, had chose General Patent Corporation from a number of different companies that I had interviewed and evaluated on behalf of the inventors. I think they did an excellent job in this particular case, and I know of other patent representation cases that they've been involved in where they have been very successful, and the inventors are very happy with the outcomes. If I were facing the same situation today, and an individual patent owner came to me, I would, without a hesitation, refer them over to the General Patent Corporation for consideration of working with them to represent the individual patent owner in monetizing his patent. I believe the General Patent Corporation has the resources, the wherewithal to help an individual sort through this maze of litigation and negotiation and work towards a successful outcome, towards a fair valuation and a fair monetization of his work.